Welcome to this video on backpressure handling in distributed streaming systems. In this series on distributed systems, we'll explore how systems manage the speed mismatch between producers and consumers in data pipelines. Backpressure is a critical concept that prevents system failures when data arrives faster than it can be processed. Imagine a scenario where a data producer generates information much faster than a consumer can process it. This creates a serious problem. Message queues overflow with unprocessed data, consuming excessive memory until the system runs out of resources and crashes. Data is lost, and the entire pipeline fails. This is the core problem we need to solve. Backpressure is a feedback mechanism that signals upstream components to slow down or pause when downstream systems cannot keep up. Think of it like a pressure relief valve in a pipe system. When pressure builds up downstream, a signal travels back upstream telling the source to reduce flow. This control mechanism propagates backwards through the entire pipeline, preventing resource exhaustion before it happens. There are four main strategies to implement backpressure. First, buffering. Store excess data in bounded queues until the consumer catches up. Second, dropping. Discard the oldest or newest messages when the buffer reaches capacity. Third, throttling. Rate limit producers based on consumer capacity signals. Fourth, blocking. Pause producer operations completely until the consumer processes the backlog. Each strategy has different trade-offs depending on your system requirements. Let's look at a real-world example using TCP, the protocol that powers most internet communication. TCP uses a sliding window protocol for backpressure. The receiver advertises available buffer space in acknowledgement packets. The sender limits transmission to fit within this window. As the receiver's buffer fills up, the window shrinks. As data is processed, the window grows again. If the window becomes zero, the sender stops completely until buffer space becomes available. This elegant mechanism ensures reliable data delivery without overwhelming the receiver. In modern reactive programming, backpressure is implemented through a request-based flow control model. A subscriber controls the flow by explicitly requesting a specific number of items. For example, it might request 10 items initially. As it processes each item, it requests the next one. This gives the subscriber complete control over consumption rate. The publisher never sends more data than requested, creating natural flow control without requiring complex buffering logic. Message queuing systems like Kafka use a pause and resume pattern for backpressure. The consumer continuously polls the queue for records. If the consumer becomes overloaded, it pauses consumption from the partitions, stopping new data from being fetched. Once the consumer has processed the backlog and regained capacity, it resumes consumption. This allows the consumer to control its own intake rate based on actual processing capability. When implementing backpressure in your systems, follow these best practices. First, monitor queue depth continuously and set alerts when approaching capacity limits. Second, always use bounded buffers with explicit size limits to prevent unbounded memory growth. Third, implement graceful degradation by defining fallback strategies when backpressure triggers. Fourth, test your system under realistic high-throughput scenarios to validate that flow control works correctly. These practices ensure your system remains stable under stress. To summarize, backpressure prevents system overload by balancing the speeds of producers and consumers. Choose your strategy based on system requirements: buffering for temporary delays, throttling for rate limiting, dropping for non-critical data, or blocking for guaranteed delivery. Implement explicit flow control signals between pipeline components so they communicate their capacity. Always use bounded buffers and monitor system capacity in production environments. Understanding and implementing backpressure correctly is essential for building reliable, resilient distributed systems.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.